Hey guys, I'm here to get into the Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, which was directed by Andrew Dominik, released in the year 2007. And this just holds up as by far my favorite Dominik project. Because this is just a perfect character study, and it really just holds up. It's quite magnificent upon every rewatch. It's just extremely entertaining, extremely fleshed out, extremely detail oriented in ways that it's like an ultimate balance of Terrence Malick and Martin Scorsese. Cinematography reminds me a lot of Malick, and then just characters beats remind me a lot of Scorsese. As it explores just a lot of complicated emotions all throughout. I mean, and characters are afraid often, they have guilt, they have envy, they're angry, remorseful. It's just all kinds of complicated dark emotions. They're explored from a very just dry perspective and clear, and cinematography beautiful depths of nature, but characterization is always uncomfortable as it's heavily rooted in crime perspective. And I mean, honestly, the influence of this film even reminds me a lot of The Godfather. It's like from a more like Scorsese kind of lens. If Scorsese were kind of looking at a Godfather story, because again, the characterizations are really complex and layered. It really just feels like you're seeing a lot of naivete kind of torn down to broken down to insanity. And it's a very compelling kind of story, and it just really gets into all kinds of insanity. And Brad Pitt's, just, I mean, I think one of my all-time favorite actors. I think his 2000s era resonates with one of my all-time favorite arcs, and it's also one of my favorite Casey Affleck moments, along with my second favorite next to Manchester by the Sea. But this is just kind of looking at, again, a character who is like cowardice about his evil temptations, and he kind of like ends up driven to a point of torment past or return about a lot of this. And also it features an amazing soundtrack by Nick Cave. The atmosphere is just incredibly pure all throughout, and it's really an incredible depiction of characterization. Very disturbing. It also seems like it could be a bit of a big influence on Inglourious Basterds as well, with Pitt's acting and just this. It's the cinematography. It's got, Roger Deakins, one of his best moments right here. It's kind of in like a spooky. It's almost a little bit spooky in its own kind of way, but ultimately very beautiful and very haunting, disturbing. But just kind of original perspective. It's kind of like, again, a bit of a calming nature about this whole perspective as well. It's just an interesting kind of balance that you have to be quite original. It's like a very original western. Again, looking at one of the biggest years ever of neo westerns between this No Country for Old Men and There Will Be Blood. It's like, wow, all this is insane. What a time. And yeah, this is just really one of my all-time favorite projects. And it's, again, Dominik never really has hit me on this level again personally, but I just love it, all this. Just seeing you just say kind of like just insanity just gradually brewing, and a very humanist perspective. You look at a lot of almost looking at a legendary perspective on obsession and cowardice around all of it, like around the hero complex, and then just like strength around the weak of perspective as well. It's just, this is very original at conveying plenty of just anxiety-inducing perspective around just man at wrestle with just myth versus reality. And Dominik just really conveys all this in a very subtle kind of way. A lot of these scenes are just wonderfully paced out, very smooth, just very transcendental. Kind of just explores a lot of just aging perspective around the crime genre. I think that's where I get where I get the Godfather reference, because a lot of it deals with like aging and the depths of that. But this is Scorsese we're perceiving this. Very original. And I guess strongly recommended from start to finish.